Hello, it's Karmatos, and welcome to another Thememe Deck Pseudo Challenge special. With our new Daemons of the Runestorm, we got Maximum Warp number 1. I was originally using a version of a Kyriss deck, which is the only Warlord I have for this faction, and it wasn't doing so well, so I'm like, oh, let's see what today's challenge is. Oh, play troops that cost 8 or more. Okay, this guy seems great for it. I'm just gonna throw in as many 8+ cost troops as I can that are nice, and then throw in as many warp rifts as possible, and throw in a bunch of board damage to help maximize get off the battle honor, because you just need to weaken him, you don't actually have to flat out kill him, and it turned out to be a pretty fun deck. So we're gonna watch that together and go over this card by card. So, Kyriss, Battle Honor, put a Warp Rift into play. If you don't remember what Warp Rift was from our reveals, Warp Rift, can't attack, relentless, keyword relentless, reduce the cost of daemons in your hand by 1, or 0 to self-destruct and refill 1 energy. Super nice. If you get a couple of these, even 1 out, things are gonna just landslide for you real quick. And I tried to make sure to keep a relatively high troop ratio, so this would work out. Naturally, I'm running goddamn Plague Toads. All glory. Greatest thing since sliced bread. Unspoiled Land, I was lucky enough to get 2. Just seemed like a great opportunity to duplicate high-cost demons and then reduce their cost. Or just good card cycle. It's great. Rotfly. I thought Plague Toads were going to be the most obnoxious thing from this faction. No, it's Rotfly. This thing is whack. This will actually fill your board so fast you won't be able to play things. Warp Rift. Yeah, we talked about that. Seek and Destroy. It's a goodie. It's a good way to just hit something for 3 and then finish it off with Kyriss to get out of Warp Rift. Elittle. Yeah, it's nice. Sadly, I don't exactly have a whole lot of Give Mutation. This is one of the 2 legendaries I got, so it's not really getting maximized for what it can do. I only have 1 source in the whole deck that can give Mutation to another, but it's pretty fun. It's still a 5/3 stealth, unstoppable for 4, so I run it. And it's especially nice to be able to poke for a hit and then poke again. Poxbringer. These things will win you games. I put this in because I'm like, yeah, it's a good stall. It's a good way to, heal up my Warlord, and if I just keep him there on the board, I'll just keep healing. They are amazing, especially when you combine it with things like Beast of Pyra, and if they don't kill the beast, and then you can get off a whole another 8 damage, and at least if you get out 2, which because of Unspoiled, it'll happen more than once. Artillery Strike, again, good way to finish things off. Beast, it just seemed like a good thing to throw in there. If you can reduce the cost on Beast and drop it as a bonus, you'll sneak out 8 damage. Cathedral of the Mark, this is the other legendary. My philosophy for buying these new card sets is to go for 2 legendaries, because, let's see. You start to see your first duplicates at around crate 10. You start to really get duplicates at around crate 20. And yeah, you can still kind of maximize getting rares and epics all the way up until about 40. And then after that, the diminishing returns are too high. So I usually shoot for just 2. And, sorry, that's an aside. Herald of Slaanesh. Yeah, this one's great. Come on. Gives mutation, has stealth. Would I run 2 if I could? Probably, but I only got 1. Cathedral was the relentless, create a random daemon in your hand. Just good. There's a lot of card draw struggle, and of course, when you got all these warps, being able to add a daemon to your hand every turn to then get reduced, perfect. Defense satellites, same gimmick. And between the defense satellites and the artillery strikes, you'll do pretty good against a lot of stealth. Not all of it, but a lot. Fracture in Time, of course, is the bee's knees. This will win you the game so very often, especially if, you can drop a whole bunch of warp rifts immediately after, couple, and maybe attack for 1, and then replay your whole board, and they're like, oh, I can't. Seekers of Slanesh, yeah, I threw these guys in because I have Plague Toads and Rotflies, and it just seemed like a good synergy there to quick kill one of my own guys, especially if the board state is filling up too quick, and, you know, take out a Tribune or something. Not that that happens. Ula, Doom of Heroes. Yeah, this guy's amazing. 8 for 7/7 stealth is already swank. You'll probably win most games just swinging for 7 once. But otherwise, deal 4 damage and put a copy in your hand, which, since this again kind of struggles with hand size, pretty nice. Yuria the Seducer. So again, this was targeted for 8+ troops. This is one of the best demons, as is Slayer of Worlds, of course. And reducing the cost on troops that cost more than 8 will still contribute to the challenge sheet. So even if you get it all the way down to 0, you're golden. And of course, Father Decay. It has been pointed out to me in hindsight that with all these Plague Toads and Rotflies that this might not be capitalized super well, which is fair. And if I had the legendary of the new 9 energy guy that drops the 2/4/2s, I would run that in place of Father Decay. But we're just running out of options at this point, and as repeated, it's good for card draw or board state late game. It'll win us a game. So, how did we do? There's a specific point where I tried starting with a mutation meme, wasn't going so hot, and right here is where I started, and it looks like I got 5 wins and 1 loss, and the losses versus pure tactics. Which is hard because I couldn't get off any warp gates, and I couldn't get off any Rotflies. What a great low curve opener. And I will send you back to Slanesh. And we even get a, you know, a Runestorm opponent, so. And that was unfortunate luck. Drew artillery. Ah, he also had bad luck. Benefit of running Seek and Destroy, we're going to see a lot more of this nowadays, because that. Yeah, that is one of the best cards with our new big fatty. Look at those wings. Just like, oh yeah, 8 damage. Go ahead. This. Super nice. He's thinking so too. And this is why I run Seek and Destroy. I can deal 3, hit it for 2, get a warp, start reducing the cost of... okay, bad example, but don't worry. I'll draw into it. Also, fun that. Just dump that board state out there. He'll face bash into the toad. Oh, no. Little does he know. Oh, you see, I would have gotten that down to 3. And this is why we run Artillery Strike. Sometimes just going to good old-fashioned neutrals is what you need to flush something out. I could have face bashed for a gate, but at 15 health and this guy is able to dump like 8 damage in a single turn on 1 card, I was a little hesitant and decided to go for the poke. And it's not like I'm in a dire need for these. Which really begs the question, how in the world do I win this? Well, one reason is he skipped a 7 energy turn for some reason. I don't know what's in his hand, but they must all cost 8, or he just didn't like his options. Maybe he thought I'd plot fly away or something. 8 damage. See, nice thing about that, only during your turn attack lets things like that get off twice and exist once more. Although I suspect he's about to die. Yep. Double heal. What am I doing? I'm surprised I didn't shoot off an artillery strike in there, but with these two gates... See, he's just so spooked by it. Fractured in time. Screw your 9. I mean, yeah, you'll get these to your hand too, but screw your 9. I get to hit him and bounce him and drop lethal. Does he have a solution? He does not. And he bows out.
You fight well.
Thank you.
No man has ever cut me before.
Well, this titted goat man has. Alrighty. Alright, let's take a look at a little troop control. I was worried about this because Mr. Gwynbleed could just toss out 3 damage every turn and deny all my warp rifts, but somehow it turns out okay. And for that very reason, I do not drop warp rift turn 1 because I'm like, he'll just hit it for 3, so I cause him to waste a 2 energy turn holding off. Now I'm like, okay, we'll drop it and poke him for 1. Because now, if he has a fast troop, I'm denying 3 energy. Let's see what happens. And this is one approach. Personally, I would have just hit it for 3 and saved this for energy turn 4 to hit something for 5, but I'll take it. Especially because of that battle honor. Well, let's start ticking. And let's really start ticking. I'm surprised by that. These warp capes must be really scary to people. He's willing to take 8 damage to deny that, you know, ticking. But to be fair, for all he knows, my entire hand is filled with demons. Turns out that it's just really 1. I actually decide, yeah, go for the finish. He's already at 7. Getting it to 6 isn't gonna change much. Yeah, we drop a nice little Ula and tap it for 1. So now he's reluctant to bash, because then he knows I can poke and deal 4 damage if he attacks, so I would be able to clear that and get a copy and play that copy all without giving him any kind of tactics. Good news is that I can give him a little one. I'm not sure why that animated sneak attack. Hmm. It's starting to look like a good time to fracture time. Get him down to 5. Bounce the whole board. Then I can poke him, throw down a 4.
We'll meet again.
But good Gwen bows. Good game, buddy. Alrighty, who we got next? Duquesne. Yeah, next to him, I like it. Especially because of the unstoppable and this being Duquesne. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna keep our,
For the 10!
you know, stealth daemon. I was a little surprised by that. I definitely dropped that opening turn because if he, you know, throws down a militia and tries to be unstoppable, I can still poke it. What do we get? What do we get? What do we get? Hey, look at that. I love my early heals. It's a combination of damage and heal stalling for playing this over and over again. And especially nice because this is a stealth murder machine for the stall game that also gives you copies. I forget why he did that. I don't know if it's that people aren't too familiar with this heal mechanic, or if he has like an artillery strike coming up, or he thinks I'm gonna bash. But the trick is, don't attack with the Foxbringer. That was enough to kill it. That must have been part of his thought. Not enough. Look at these 3. They're all about to go down 1. So we got a Rotfly, we got an artillery strike, a 1 damage poke. Could I have face bashed? Yeah, but I'm already behind in health. One of these will have to be enough. And to be fair, as far as next turn goes, I could drop that turn 7, or turn 7 energy. If only I had defense satellites. Also a funny thing to do there, but we're gonna drop this first. Could I have poked that first and such? Yeah, but I wanted to see what numbers rolled. Yeah, just fill it up, fill it up. And this way, I can hit him for another hard 5. That gets him down to 9. Boom. 5. Hindsight, I could have killed him and stopped him from buffing up like crazy, but I guess I just figured that with the poison, he would be dead. And that I wasn't in any danger of lethal, and he would probably just ram it into my 3-5 due to him being at 8. But I'm sure he's gonna heal and cure poison. Should have poked and then healed. Doesn't really matter though, because we have 7, 10, 11, 13, 14 damage. And just to flex a little bit. Ta-da! Can't stall this deck. It will come down hard on you. Alrighty, Narek. This one's gonna be a little short. At least from the replay standpoint, I don't know if this fellow, like, DC'd in a bizarre way, or just went hard AFK, or was just trying to maximize the annoyance. He ends up... What's the word I'm looking for? Leashing for 3 turns straight, and at the end of the 3rd leash, where he's just not doing anything, not playing anything, stalling the whole time, then he disconnects manually, and I end up waiting an additional 30 seconds. So I have a hunch he might have rage bitter DC'd. People sure don't like the warp. And that's fair. And I think it's right about here. We're just gonna get...
Witness the ecstasy of death.
I'm emoting because there was nothing happening. So, anyway. Yeah, these blood flies are pretty annoying, and so are these toads. Oh, glory. Look at that beautiful face. Who doesn't have eyes on their butt? And quit. There it is.
Discarded like a broken blade.
So, somebody's not happy about Runestorm Daemons. This one is a close but hard loss. Namely, when it's pure tactics, you can't get off your battle honor. And me hunching it might be a lot of tactics. I'm like, Herald will do nicely here.
For the Emperor!
Ah. Yeah, look at you, there is Light Poke. Unfortunate, this deck is filled with frogs and blot fries and double draw, and just didn't get it. Still not getting it. In hindsight, I should have dropped Artillery Strike, but I wasn't 100% certain it was pure tactic yet. I'm like, maybe he's got some fast, you know, little 3/3s. De-stealth 1 damage. 2 damage or face bash? 2 damage and 1 damage to all. Took 3 cards to kill this. But he did it. Hawksbringer. First chance you get, drop it. And I'm thinking, ooh, he just used his outflank and I got Yuria up here. I am set. And I'm trying to hold on to this to pop off fast. Just open. 2 damage to him, 3 damage to all. Yep. Not that Secrets of Slaanesh would have lived any better. But it's still fairly neck and neck. Except he's got 8 damage sitting in his hand. That, and he drew both of his outflanks without doing any draw cycle. Unlucky me. So, I'm fairly convinced by that point. Which means fracture time, defense satellites, these are things that are just not going to help you. And I'm like, yes! And I'm like, oh no. And then it happened. If he had been a 5 healther and survived the turn, he would have hit for 5, and I would have dropped Seekers and sacrificed him and hit him for 6, hit him for 2, and that would be game. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you got a nice 6-14.
Good job.
He's got the lethal. Yep. Kudos. Tactical opens some fun. Denied me all my warp gates. And to finish off, everybody loves beating up Coward Nassau. So I'm surprised I got rid of that stealth unit. Wonder why.
For the Emperor of Mankind.
So I don't open with Rotfly because I'm gonna try to, you know, maximize the poke a bit. And let's see if we get any luck here. Yeah. Oh god, that's so good. You can guess what my next 2 turns are. I mean, that's fair. Not sure if he understood that it heals, but at least he sees it as 1 damage progress. Well, fair. And another poke. So he could poke. That I'm not so sure of why. And then he just passed. Gotta read the cards. He had something planned, I just don't know what. Maybe he took too long and that was actually his turn timing out. Ah, finally, we get to see a little Seekers of Slaanesh this video. Bye-bye, Tribune. And yeah, at this point, I'm healing 2 a turn. I'm gonna just face bash. Oh yeah, he's super dead. And this is another one where I'm not getting off any sort of love on anything, but I have the advantage of double heal. Fair. Yeah. Although, it would stand to reason that if he was going to do that, had he done it over here, I would have healed less, and I would have had a maintenance penalty. I see Father Decay in my hand, I wanted a Warp Gate. And I'm healing 2 a turn, so. Okay. Yeah. That's a good combo for him. He could peck all those off if he wanted to. And no luck. So now we got 2. Go down Warp Gate, Poke, and Father Decay. So what of mine has died? Beast, a healer. He's lost some hunters. I have such mixed feelings. Like, you freed up my energy. Down to 5. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect. 4 damage direct. Have fun precogging, buddy. But just to be safe, I'm gonna do the big brain. Deny anything that can be done. So he either has to kill stealths or go through 12 health to get his, and he bows out because that's lethal on the board. Well, oh, this is on par with the with the Chaos Spawn being outside of the frame. Well, I hope you like this. I'm not sure how I arrived at this other than trying to just drop 8 cost troops and it turning out to be pretty fun. If you like this, like it. If you want to see more like it, subscribe. Share this with your friends. Karmatos loves you. Thanks for watching.